Well, it's Valentine's Day, and honestly, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. So today, our guest is author and relationship expert Bethany Nicole, who's going to help us navigate the minefield of this romantic holiday. Today, on the Open Highway.
The Open Highway with Eric Harrison.
That's why I come to you, because I have no advice for people for Valentine's Day, because I haven't celebrated Valentine's Day for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Really? Because my last relationship, we didn't really do it. We didn't really do holidays. We didn't really, it's that whole idea of be a good boyfriend or a good husband year round.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it just one day.
Right.
So that's why I call you up, and I'm like, okay, this is an important holiday, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
And let's chat about it. So do you celebrate it? Do you go all out?
I don't go all out, but I do like to have kind of a day where it's just like celebrating the relationship or just doing something fun together. I don't make a ton of, plans around it or pressure on it, but yeah, I mean, if everyone's around and willing, then yeah, I like to do something special.
If everyone's around, what is this? There's like 10 people. It's like, hey, we're all going to celebrate Valentine's Day together. One of those parties. Put your keys in the bowl. So what do you think about people that put a metric on it? They're like, well, if I don't get this, or if I don't get that, or if he didn't give me candy, or if she didn't give me this gift, they don't love me. You ever run into anybody like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think in that scenario, it's kind of like take a look at what you're missing in your relationship and why you would put that kind of value on that. Like if your relationship is not going well and you're putting all of your hopes on this one day for them to show you that they do care about you, then there's probably some other stuff going on. Or it could also be you're just so worried about outside perception of what's going on inside your relationship too.
Oh, I never thought of that. Because
Yeah.
peers can be really, really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like my boyfriend got me this ring. Oh, well, my ring's only half as big as yours, so my boyfriend must not love me as much as you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I never thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's, have you ever met anyone though who's like broken up like right before Valentine's Day so they don't have to buy a gift, or right after Valentine's Day so they get the gift?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so messed up. I
know. There's it's a dating trend. I'm trying to remember what they coined the term. I think it's like, I'll have to look it up, but it's a whole dating trend. Like it's kind of similar to the holiday one that's called snow globing, where people like try to couple up for the holidays, but then they break up like right after.
There's a term for that?
Yeah, there's a term for the holiday one. And then there's
snow globing.
Snow globing is the holiday. I want to say this one is called like Valentining or something. There's two. There's the one where people break up intentionally right before Valentine's Day to not have to do anything for it. And then there's the flip side where people like scramble to get in a relationship so they do have something for Valentine's Day to do.
So they'll just settle for someone so they'll have someone to have a drink with on that night.
Exactly. I actually just put a post up about that. I think like maybe 2 or 3 days ago about how it's okay to just take that pressure off yourself and give yourself a break of not feeling like it's a musical chairs situation of like you have to find someone before this day. Like it's okay to not do anything for that day. It's okay to be single on it. It's okay. Like it's just so much better than pushing to get into something and then, you maybe do exchange gifts and then immediately after you don't really want to be with that person, or, it just can create so many resentments and hurt feelings and everyone's not on the same page. And, and truthfully, it's just a day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Like you can make your own Valentine's Day. Like it's just so much pressure on such an odd thing.
Well, in the Midwest, they have a second Valentine's Day called Sweetest Day.
No, I've never heard of that.
It's called Sweetest Day, and it's, if I remember correctly, and I'm going to go and research this after the show and make sure I'm right. And if I'm wrong, I'll put it in the show notes. But it was either created by the candy industry or the gift card industry, and they really only celebrate it in the Midwest. And it's basically a second Valentine's Day. But the entire purpose of it is to sell things. But people go, ooh, this is wonderful. So it's a true Hallmark holiday, even though Hallmark wasn't involved. But so maybe these are the people you're talking about. They're like, I don't want to do it in February. I'm going to do it in another month. Do you think that COVID has changed the way people look at Valentine's Day, though? Because like you're talking about how people just want to have somebody. Well, the rules are a little different now. They have been now for a while.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before. The whole, like, you never know what's underneath the mask in the produce section. Right. By the way, the produce section conversation we had, I got so many comments about that, and so many people and friends who listen to the show, and they just gave me a hard time about, like, they're like, you're looking in the wrong aisle. I just stopped looking. I watched the show Jack Reacher the other day, the new Reacher show, where he just wanders across the country and he doesn't care about anybody. And there's moments where I'm looking at it going, it's not a bad choice. I kind of get that.
Yeah, that's looking better and better every day. Yeah.
But how does COVID affect Valentine's Day? What have you run into?
I mean, it's definitely been a lot more muted. I feel like it seems to me that it hasn't been quite as, like, big dinners and elaborate things. And it's been more, I guess, like gift giving than activity based, it seems like. But yeah, I mean, and I think I'm hopeful, at least, that I know it has for me, that people, because of the pandemic, can kind of see that these aspects really don't matter. These are the things that are surface level. It's not really a big deal, but if you're placing all of this value on it, then you're placing value on the wrong things in your relationship. And with people like breaking up all over the place because of the pandemic, like, really learning that these shallow connections don't get us anywhere. And I'm hopeful, at least, that people are recognizing that more around this holiday as well.
Yeah. Well, look into your crystal snow globe for a second. and do you think that as we get to the end of all this, knock on wood, fingers crossed, whatever you want to do, that there is an end in sight at some point? Do you think that there'll be a sort of explosion of people being able to go, oh wow, now we can go out, now we can go and do these extravagant activities, we can go to these fancy Valentine's Day dinners? Do you think it's like anybody who listens to this show knows I'm a student of history. So it's like after a war, everyone comes back and just money flows, babies are born, buildings are built. Like there's just an explosion of energy because it's been trapped for a while. Do you think there's something like that in the future once we get to a certain point with all this?
I mean, that's hard to say. I can see the logic behind that. But I also see just like a lot of like tired, like people are really tired, and this pandemic has just really weighed on all of us so much. And coming out of the other side of it, I don't think we're really sure what it is going to look like, because all of these systems are breaking down, which means they have to be rebuilt and look different. And I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just the time frame we're in right now. Where everyone's exhausted, and there could be a surge of energy once this kind of dies out. But I don't know if I see that as possibly happening. And I'm, again, hopeful, like very hopeful, that people recognize the deeper value of things in their relationships and their lives. And I'm hopeful that we don't go right back to the things we were doing before.
Can you imagine if masks became like a security blanket or almost like a fetish, because we were like, oh, we don't want to give them up? I
know, I could see that. I could totally see people like not wanting to do it. Like,
do you ever find, like, as a guy, I don't have to shave, I don't have to brush my teeth, I don't have to do, I'm just gonna put on the mask and go out and run errands, I don't have to worry about anything. Do women do that too? They're like, oh good, I don't have to do my makeup or anything.
I do that, absolutely. I'm like, oh,
and you go to the produce section, you go to the produce section, you want to pull down your mask, you're like, oh crap, I didn't put on lipstick, I didn't put on anything, I'm not presentable. He's the perfect person. It's all done. So what kind of things have you heard from people that they are doing that are a little more muted or a little more value versus, was it quality over quantity?
Quantity,
So,
yeah.
what are people doing?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of like, like hiking dates or like going to the beach, like taking a picnic, going to the park, like just kind of more spending time together thing as opposed to like big extravagant dinners.
So it's just an extension of normal dates during the pandemic.
Yeah, just a little extra.
We've talked about that before. Remember, it was in the beginning, like, hi, I'm Eric. Nice to meet you. Would you like to go for a walk in the park 6 feet apart and we can actually get to know each other? Flash forward to Valentine's Day. Hi, would you like to go for a walk in the park? But we can be closer than 6 feet now.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Have you heard the commercial? Have you heard that commercial?
No, what is that?
There's a dating app commercial. I don't remember. I think it's for one of the apps that are for older daters, not for, it's not Tinder. It's not one of the younger ones. It's one of the ones over 50, I think. And it's these two people talking, and they're like, when we first met, we had to wear masks and we had to be 6 feet apart, and that's how we got to know each other. And now we're a lot closer. And it's got this kind of like this, like, I understand exactly what you mean about that. But that's what we've come to. So, hey, do you want more Open Highway? Well, become a premium subscriber on Patreon and Substack, and you'll be able to watch the show in its entirety, have exclusive access to articles on news, current events, and other great topics. And most of all, you'll be supporting indie voices in journalism. Check out the link in the description, and we'll see you on the Open Highway.